going live now. Woo.
Okay, I'm hitting buttons. That means that we got to be live. Live now. Watch live video.
Yep, we are live.
There.
We're here.
It's us. We're back.
We're back.
It's so live with Steph and Eileen.
Hi guys, how are you tonight? I still need to. Oh, look at that! I have to go here, then here.
I'm actually online and I'm on top of things tonight. Mark this down. It's amazing what happens when I don't work during the day.
She gets stuff done. Guess what Steph was able to do with the help of her cousin, Lissa, who's back in our studio audience. She was able. What did you do, Steph?
We made it so it's possible. So I can actually sew in my sewing room right now. Now, walking through the living room may be a little bit questionable, but at least I can sew in the sewing room. So I'm pretty excited about that. Still lots to do, but it was definitely a good effort put in. And Lissa's very good influence on me because she's like, you got to throw this. You don't need this. You realize this expired, 2007. And it wasn't fabric.
I was going to say, does fabric really expire? It might go out of style and then come back into style, but it doesn't really expire. Unless moths have gotten to it.
Yeah, it could get really thin that could be a problem. But my fabric was currently, unfortunately, it was all perfect, just fine. So we stopped fine. But we're getting the right organization. Okay,
Dan says hi.
We've got
more people
Pat
on your
and
side.
Gloria and Ann, and amazingly enough, Melissa's watching us too. And Jean is here, so we're doing well. We're getting everybody. We're getting going. Ready for a good, exciting evening?
I'm tired today.
Did you get a lot done?
No. I mean, with car shopping, that's exhausting.
And that is.
I hate car shopping with a passion.
Car shopping it's draining. There's
very
nothing
tiring.
good. If anybody has some good suggestions on how not to be exhausted when you go car shopping, let us know.
Maybe drinking would help.
But then drinking and driving, probably not a good combination.
Then you get to see how well it handles.
But it's going to handle you as opposed to you handle it.
That's true. All right, guys.
Tonight's
question is, what is your favorite size ruler that you most commonly use? So, do you like to use...
Mine is the 3x18.
This guy, which is a 24x6.
Okay, so if I'm at the shop, that would probably be 24x6 or 24x6.5.
Or is it something more along like this guy, which is a 3x12?
Which are always nice. But I just really like that 18. I don't know.
Can you see it?
Or do you like the square ones? Because, if you're trying to square things up, then it's always nice.
Yep, if you're going to do... And see, so we're spoiled here at the shop because we've got all of our Quilter Select stuff. Yeah. And so if we need a 3x3 or a 4x4 or... Well, not a 5x5 anymore. We can just grab them and do our squaring up of things. So that's awesome. So which one is your favorite, you guys? Tell us, let us know. Because inquiring minds want to know.
Okay, so we've got a 6.5x12 from Gloria.
6x12. Awesome.
That's the shorter, squattier one. That's actually a nice one too.
Stan says a 25-foot Stanley.
That would be you, Stan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. And sorry I missed you, Stan. He was going to bring us goodies again, but I was out, so he didn't.
Oh.
So
bummer. Sorry.
Something to do with chocolate chip Kringler.
I'll give you my address next time if you go, chocolate chip Kringler, Stan. We got Dorothy and Pat. Pat likes her 6-inch by 24-inch.
A 6x24.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And okay, so Gloria also likes her 2.5x6, and Sandy likes her 6x24. So a lot of those bigger ones are really nice.
Do you know what's the one downside to the big ones? So when you're cutting, let's say you're just cutting something right up here, and it hits you in the gut.
Oh, I know. I was just going to say the same thing. That's when I discovered why the 6x12 was nice, or the 6.5x12.
Yeah.
That medium side, because I kept jamming myself in the gut.
Oh, I cut something.
So it's good for its purpose, but that's why there are many sizes, I guess.
That's right. So you don't jam yourself in the gut.
Yes.
Safety first, folks.
Oh,
all right.
Jean likes 8 by 14.
8 by 14.
That is one we do not have.
I don't think Quilter Select makes that one.
That's why we don't have it. We're all about the Quilter Select, I'll tell you.
We are. Maybe we should mention that to them, and maybe they'll make one for us.
Well, and now they have that new ruler that's 3 feet long.
Where is that thing?
It's in the plastic right there on the end. I came in one time and I'm like, what the heck is this? They came out with a 3-foot ruler, and it's right there on the end, right in front of the long ones. Okay, guys, yep, that's it.
Oh, gotcha.
That's it, right there. But look, it's like,
in my defense, it blended together. Look at that.
They all do. But look at that. I mean, this is a long ruler. So if you want to do binding, this is great for binding because you've got that full.
Yes.
It's 2.5. It's not even 3. So it's perfect.
Or if you're going to trim up your edges on your quilt before you bind it.
Yes.
This would be great too. Of course, you have to have a large enough
you have to have
table.
A big, yeah.
Or if you have to go down in your basement to do laundry where there might be snakes, you can use this to whack the snake out of your way.
For $50, I'm not going to do that and waste a perfectly good ruler.
Great snake whacker.
It might be a safety issue, but yeah.
All right, you guys, we've got a lot of stuff here tonight. We don't have any new fabrics necessarily to show you, but we've got some summertime fun things that you could do while you're traveling, out with your kids, or if you have your grandkids over, or your kids are home and they need stuff to do. We've got some really fun stuff, and then we're going to do a little demonstration. Last week I had quite a few people that I was telling them about binding and how I do my binding. So I thought, well, it's a good time.
We'll have a little bit of binding show.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit of binding, and then Steph's going to show us how to make that binding.
Must be the fabric that binds.
The fabric that binds. Those that bind together stay together.
Because they're bound.
Because they're bound together.
We're bound to get something right.
They're bound. So,
it's going to be a long night, guys.
And then we're going to have a little quiz, or a little question, another question for the evening, and we'll say it later.
Yes.
But this is going to be your guys' prize. This is Devlin from Northcott, and it's just it's a little charm pack. Northcott calls them chips, because charm pack is Moda.
Moda has better advertising.
No, they have the better legal department.
Okay, that too.
I'm just kidding. So anyways, this is from Devlin.
They have lots of colors in there.
It's gorgeous.
Sort of.
As I just go to a gray, a taupey gray. It's gorgeous. Trust me. You'll love it. It's all good. You'll love it, guys. But look at that. There's just some really beautiful colors in here. You'll love it. So anyways, the person who answers the question correctly that we are going to be asking later on wins this little gem. So.
Hey.
Stay tuned.
Inquiring minds want to know.
All right.
Okay. Where are we starting?
I don't know. Where you want to start?
I think, this guy is right here on top. So
should we do that?
Let's go there.
Let's go there. All right, Steph. So we have these things called sashers here at the shop.
Oh, we're doing that one. I thought you were talking.
Oh, we're doing that one? Okay, sorry.
We can do sashers. It doesn't matter.
No.
Okay.
Take it away.
Fabric organizers. If you don't feel like sewing in the summertime, this is one of them that we would highly recommend, because you can organize your fabric room. And after everything that we've gone through today, I highly recommend them. Even Lissa was like, oh, this is really awesome. I've never seen these. And then you have it. But this is made out of, I always call it, the sign that everybody makes their political statements with. It's that kind of stuff. It's like a plastic cardboard. So you can see, I don't know. You can't see the end very well on that. But
it's corrugated.
That's what it is. But it's corrugated, and it has a couple of tabs here that you can push out, or you can have them in. But you can slide your fabric in underneath and then fold it all up. So basically, I don't know, did you want to fold this down so I can show them, or?
Oh, you mean fold down that thing. Un momento, por favor. High tech, people.
High tech. So I'm starting with this end, and I'm just folding in the edges a little bit, just because then you can get it inside.
Gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Now I can see our mess stuff.
So you push these things out, and you line this guy up and scoot him in there. And then...
So you guys can see
now,
what she did.
All I did was fold this into quarters, so it's going to be a little bit longer. If you're one of those people that's very specific about it, then you probably don't want it a little bit longer, but this works for me. And you just fold it very carefully.
Just wrap it up.
Wrap it up, and I try to wrap it tight so it's not flip-flopping all over the place. And then when you get to this end, you can fold them in again. And then you have it right there. You stick your little pin guy in, and it stays put.
Oh, that looks really good.
You have a little envelope.
I was going to say it looks like an envelope. Isn't that pretty, guys?
Oh, that's cool.
If you think about it, not only are you creating it's nice and neat and tidy, but you're actually creating a decor item. So it's something that looks beautiful up on your shelves. So that looks gorgeous.
One of the things that I've found is you can also take a second one and lay it out underneath the first one, and then you'll have two wrapped on.
So I remember somebody saying that they actually take their projects. So let's say they're doing like a Villa Rosa fat quarter type quilt. They'll actually put all their project wrapped up on one of this, tuck in the pattern, and then that's the way that they store their projects.
That's a great idea. Because this can hold. I mean, it can get super thick if you want it to, with all the fabrics. I mean, you could do 5 yards on here, and it'd be thick, but it's still possible. Yeah,
that looks so pretty. Don't undo that.
Okay.
We can just show that in the shop.
But yeah, okay.
What if we were to wrap our last chances on those like that?
Well, we could.
That would look okay. Sorry.
So we have these, and these are $1.95. And so then you just get a whole collection of these, and the next thing you know, you've got a very organized sewing room, which is nice
and beautiful.
Those are great if you have shelves.
Yes. So let's go ahead and move into our binding since we got the
computer down.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't want to make you guys sick by going up and down, up and down, up and down.
Okay. So sashers. I think we've gone through.
Linda says that we must be having stormy weather because it keeps cutting in and out.
Oh. And we're hooked, aren't we?
We are hooked up, but
we actually have quite nice weather.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, Linda, but keep us posted to make sure what's going on.
Okay. So these are sashers. Okay. They come in many sizes. The one I'm going to use is a 1 1/4 because that just makes it a quicker activity to do because it's based on your jelly roll. And so basically what happens is you need, I don't know if you can see that, it's a fork pin. And the fork pin actually comes in handy. I was one of those people, I always tried to do do 2 pins instead of a fork pin, but the fork pin actually does make it a little bit more effective. So what you want to do is, this is what it is. You've got 1 1/4 inch on there. And then you just fold and iron the first little bit like you would if you're going to do some binding. Feed that through.
So what Steph is right now is she's got a trifold type binding where if you need to have 2 finished edges, you can also do it your traditional French seam binding where you just, she's got it on this end.
I got that one. So this is the first one. And you just make sure that you have your pin go through all the layers, one on each side. I don't know if you can see that or not.
We'll probably have to scooch back. Or we'll scooch this down a little bit more.
Okay.
How about that? There we go.
So there we go. So then we have that. And then basically all you have to do is you pull on this part and you slide this along. And as it goes, it tends to fold right in. And it keeps going and it goes all the way down. So you can keep going and then re-pin it as you get to the end of your pinning, or you just keep going until you're all done. And then you're ready to go, and you can either fold this way and get ready to sew, or you can just do whatever your normal binding is. So then that's the what's that one called? The French?
So apparently this is called the French binding method, which, I think this is the most common way to bind, and it sounds fancy now that we know it's a French binding method. So there you go.
Well, and we're all about fancy here, you know us.
Right?
So basically you feed that one through, do the same thing like you did with the other one. You fold it, you just have it folded in half. Line that up, do the same thing where you're folding it, and you just go right along.
I just happen to think we got the fan on. I wonder if I can hear the fan. It might be causing noises.
So then you can just keep going, get it all lined up, pull it at the end, and it goes all the way through. And then you're ready to go to
Binding Town.
Binding Town, yes. Binding Town is exactly where you want to go. So that's all quick and easy. And like I said, this is the one I'm using is the 1 1/4. There's also, we have the 1 1/8 and 1 1/4. So if you're one of those people that prefers doing a full jelly roll or the 2 1/4 inch fabric, then this is what you want. We have the 1 inch for those who want to do weaving. That one works really well. The 1 1/8 by itself. And then we also have one as large as 1 1/2 inches.
And we have even those bigger than that too.
We do have a 2 inch.
We have a 2 inch. And then we have something that's a jelly roll sasher. So if you guys like to make these jelly roll rugs, oops, there we go. This is awesome because if you notice the width of where you're putting your fabric is a little bit wider. And that is so that way you can put in over there.
This?
Nope. The batting.
Oh.
And the jelly rolls. So you've got these awesome jelly rolls that you guys have been wandering around picking up as you're shopping because they're so pretty and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do with it. Grab yourself one of these guys. There's oval ones. This one happens to be a square one. Get yourself some of this batting that's that 2 inch, 2 1/4 inch. You feed this guy through. See how these are a little bit wider? It feeds right through and use that same French method to bind it or to iron it up. And then there you go.
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle. I do have an Uncle Bob, so there you
Bob's
go.
your uncle, not mine.
Bob's my uncle, yes. All right, guys. So that is the sasher. So I'm going to ask you to bring that back over here because since we've got the camera down, we're going to keep on going with our little sample.
Okay.
Got it. And if you guys notice, we have 2 of our wool mats down to protect our cutting mats. Because you want to make sure you're not getting heat on your cutting mats. Don't leave your cutting mats in the car during the summertime because they will warp. It doesn't matter what cutting mat it is, how good the cutting mat is, it will warp if it gets too hot. So, as I just stick that on there.
I'll put it back in.
Oh, thank you. All right. So, this is my binding method. And if you guys know me, I'm super lazy. I don't like pins. And so, I always try to find a way that is simple and fast and all that kind of good stuff. Now, you guys, for those of you that like to do your add your binding by hand, that is awesome. For those that just want to get it done and do a stitch in the ditch on the top, that's awesome too. So the way I like to do it is I will sew the binding to the front just like a normal. So you raw edges, sew it down, and then I take it to the ironing board and I do a good press along the top so it's nice and crisp. And it's getting it so it's just really tight, okay? When I fold it over, I like just to have that little bit of edge, okay? So once I do that, I've got all of my binding pressed out. And I can even fuss with my quarters at this point on the front to make them look really, really nice, okay? Then what I do is I take, Lisa, can you hand me that? Actually, I'll grab it because this is totally because I can't describe it.
Okay. So okay. So she's getting the sticky part of her job.
This is light steam to seam too, and it's a double stick light fusible tape. Okay, so it's a 1/4 inch in width, and if we know what our seam allowance or what our stitch width here, that's a 1/4 inch, right? So all I do is I press in or I iron on this stuff to the back side. Okay. Remember, this is going to be a no pin solution. I hate pins. You can do the clips, the binding clips. Those are okay, but they irritate me. Okay. So, and yes, we don't sell any if I say that, but they do irritate
Well, but
me.
it all depends on the job.
Correct. Well,
in this particular case, this makes more sense.
But they were made for this. So, anyways.
But they were made for other things too.
True. So as you can see, I just iron on and leave the tape side, right? And then I come back, and after it's been cooled down, I just peel off the tape. And you can kind of feel it's a little sticky on its own without even getting the iron hot. And of course, you're going to follow the directions for the heat, how hot you need to get your iron. Usually I just whack it to the highest one. And then this is where you can kind of take your time and futz with your corners. So you get like just like that perfect corner, that perfect miter. And then I just pull the binding to the back and iron it down. Now I did that with this side and the other side there. And I just give it a good press. And yes, this is a prep that takes a little bit longer. But look at that, you guys. Look how awesome that is. Okay, so now I'm just going to, and of course this is a small project, so it's even faster and easier. But I promise you guys, even on larger projects, it's awesome. It's worth this step, and I'm just not gonna worry about that too much.
Plus, you also get that reward earlier about how it looks.
Yes.
You can go, oh, that's what it's gonna. This is gonna be so cool. I'm so excited.
Well, and let's say like you don't have time to actually finish stitching this down. You can just, you know, it stays in place for quite a while. So you can actually just go ahead and leave it for a while. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So see how easy this is, you guys? It's a little time consuming. But you know what? If you're going to make a good meal, you're going to take your time to cut up your vegetables. You're going to take your time to really go through and thoroughly, you know, just do all that. And then you get to the sewing machine or you get to the cooking part and then you just whack it out.
So if you do the prep is what you're saying,
correct,
you're going to have a really good product in the end.
Exactly. Exactly. Just like when you're trying to repaint windows and you have to sand those windows down, which I'm not done with. Okay, so let's see. I don't want to get this right on, but you guys could see that. See how quick and easy that was? I mean, it really does not take all that long. Now, what I will do is I will take it to the sewing machine and I can do a stitch in the ditch, just right in there. And if you notice on the back side, you are never going to miss it. So that's part of the problem with pinning. Maybe it folds up, maybe you might miss it, but now you've tacked it down. Some people will use fabric glue, like a fabric glue stick. I still like this light steamosine. This works amazing, okay? And so you just stitch in the ditch, or if you're not good at stitching the ditching, or maybe you've had a little too much to drink, find a really cute decorative stitch on your sewing machine and just do a decorative stitch. So there you go. That is my hot binding tip, and it is, I love this. I love this method of binding. It's awesome.
On this, just so you guys know, there's a 1/4 inch and there's a 1/2 inch.
Yes.
Right? Okay, and this one is 540 pennies. Oh my gosh, $5.40.
I'm gonna pop this.
And this is for 40 yards.
Yes.
So there's quite a bit on here. So, I mean, you're going to be hard pressed to do less than a couple of projects with this.
You guys are going to get, this is a great monetary value for how much you're getting.
Yeah.
So, and there's like
there's 2 strips in the bottom.
Yeah, 2 little rolls of that in there. So you guys, that is my hot binding tip, and it is, I love it. And you could still at this point hand bind it yourself, and you still don't have any pins or clips. It's ready to go. You can put it in a project bag and take it with you on trips to do some hand binding.
Yep. So, and that's when you use that little flower thing and do that like we showed. I think they're up there.
Do we have that? I think I put
the sample
up the register.
Okay. Well,
here.
I'm gonna go check. Oh, we can do this here.
Things are flying at you, people.
So that is what we put on the top or the bottom of the Aurifil, and that will hold your needles while you're traveling and doing all your getting out and about, doing and making the most of your gas prices now that they've dropped just a little bit. So that's what it ends up looking.
5 cents.
Hey, every little bit counts.
So just like Steph was talking about, and this was made again specifically for Aurifil, so you couldn't use this necessarily with your other brands. But you see that hole that just pops into there, and then you put your needles in there, close that up, put it with your project, and Bob's your uncle.
Bob's still your uncle.
Bob is still, hey, Uncle Bob. I don't know if you're watching.
Let me put that down here.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. All right. What else do we have for you guys tonight? So more like project stuff as you guys are traveling. It is summertime, so you may not be out or in your sewing room. Maybe you're traveling around. You're shop hopping, which, by the way, shop hop is still going on. And we have, oh, gosh. Do you have that?
The other one?
Oh, here we go. We've got Party Express happening next week. Party Express starts next week, and this is 8 quilt shops. And if you guys finish all 8, the last shop you get to, you'll receive 8 half-yard cuts in those fabrics. They are gorgeous. So that is starting on the 13th, Wednesday the 13th.
Do they get it at the last
Yes.
shop? They don't have to get it mailed to them or anything like that? Okay. Cool.
Correct. Okay, so that is happening next week. Other projects. You guys know these. You know we're all about the 5D diamond stuff, the cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Here, Steph, show them these. These are so cool. I love these.
Okay, so the journals are among our favorites because they have so many different, and they are so glittery and sparkly and all kinds of fun stuff.
We like sparkles.
Eileen made this one up, and so we don't even have that as a sample. I could to show them beforehand. But this is what they look like ahead of time. And then all of your individual ones are in there, and you just put them on, and you get, the thing that's nice about this one is there's various sizes.
Yes.
So you get to have lots of options, and you get to put it all out. And this does not look anything like what that did.
This and it's
so much brighter and so much sparklier.
Blingier.
It's very sparkly, very twinkly. So anyway, currently we have 3 journals. These are all $20, but it's a really good thing. And then you have, this one has no lines, but some of them have lines, some of them don't.
And I believe it's actual leather that the journal is made out of. It's like a thin leather. So it's good quality. It's same thing.
It's not like it's going to fall apart or anything.
Same thing as the bookmarks. The bookmarks are made out of a leather material. So they're really, really high quality. Speaking of that, isn't that adorable? Look at the bling on that, guys. Little cardinal. So if you guys are having like the kids at home, they're looking for something to do, or you're looking for something fun for them to do, I suggest getting one of these bigger ones because that will keep them busy for a long time. Not only is it fun to do, but let's think about, hand-eye coordination, dexterity, all these things, especially our, like the younger kids that we want to kind of build and grow. Oh, that one's cool.
So this one actually has, I don't know if you can see it. There we go. So that one has the lines on it. It has memos and dates and things like that. Or you can just have kids practice their letters because you don't want them to forget how to do that if they're younger.
Absolutely.
Or, write notes to themselves or...
Because we all know that kids
actually have a journal or
exactly.
diary.
They stay up late. They wake up late during the summertime.
They want to.
They want to. So it's good to keep them nice and busy. All right. So those are some of the fun projects. We've got bookmarks. That's a cute butterfly one. We've got, this is a pencil box. So if we can get one of those for the kids and have that ready for school. This one is Coco Pele. We've got just all kinds of them.
Okay. Monica wanted to know if the light steam will goof up your needle.
No, it absolutely does not. And remember that you're putting it in with that seam allowance, that 1/4 inch seam allowance. And if you're hitting your stitch in the ditch, it's going to be fine because you probably won't even hit it. But like I'm not perfect with my stitch in the ditch, like so not perfect. It does not. And I've seen the Light Steam-A-Seam too is an amazing product to work with. If you can get it by the sheets or on the roll, and we use that for applique. It's a fantastic product. So
no, that does not cause a problem.
So story long.
And Pat is encouraging everybody to get the Villa Rosas, so we can't talk about that.
That's right.
So we finish this, we'll go on to that.
So you guys get your 5D diamonds. It's just a great, fun thing. I will warn you, they are addicting. And we actually have one of them set up in our classroom in the back. So if you guys come in and you want to take your hand at it, go ahead and give it a try. It's just fun.
It really is. I mean, and just sit and you choose a color and you just sort of go for it.
It's a lot like cross stitch.
It is easier than cross stitch. I had an easier time doing that than cross stitch because cross stitch you always get poked at the needle. So for me, this was much better. Although Alyssa is very good at cross stitch, so she might think that cross stitch is better.
Crystal likes the cross stitch. We should take her up to Falls to crisscross stitchery.
Yeah, we saw it
from the outside.
You need to go in. Oh, okay. So I'm going to plug crisscross. I can never say it.
Crisscross stitchery.
Right? It's hard to say. I love you, Rhonda, but your store's name's a little hard for me to say. So, anyways, it's an amazing store in Iowa Falls. It's just a few doors down from where we're at, and she is just the sweetest gal. And the shop itself is just beautiful. Like the walls are this really awesome, like minty green blue color. Anyways, you guys need to go in and see her. She's just amazing, and she's the sweetest lady you'll ever meet. So,
okay,
little plug for Iowa Falls Crisscross Stitchery. I did it.
Very good.
I did it. Very good. Yes, I get a cookie.
You get a cookie
Later on. All right.
Okay, and you talked about those?
Oh, no, I didn't. Okay.
You just picked them up.
I'm just throwing stuff around. So here's another. You guys have your kids or your grandkids staying with you, or doing like sometimes grandparent week or something.
Mm-hmm. I know Darla's looking forward to hers.
Yes. So you want to teach them how to sew, and this is a great little. It's $1.95. It's from Schmetz Needles, and it's just a great little kids booklet on sewing and needles and all that kind of fun stuff. So it teaches them all the bits and parts about the needle. Little fun games in there. So these are just super fun. You can pick up and give them to your grandkids, and it teaches them kind of, what.
It's a good starter.
Yeah, needle anatomy. So it's fun.
Needle anatomy.
Needle anatomy. And Schmetz, I gotta say, Schmetz has done an amazing job of teaching and having materials for us so that we can teach you guys on what needle anatomy is, because I bet you a lot of you don't know a lot of this, right? And so I think one day we'll go through that. We won't today.
Nope.
But if you come into our shop, we have this really nice display that shows you like what is what kind of needle works well. And then, of course, they have their app. So if you are an app person like I am, you want to go to your app store and look up Schmetz, and you will have an amazing app. It's very handy.
It is. It is. So, oh!
Oh, Steph. I scared her.
Okay, so the good thing, some things are in packages. So anyway, the next thing we're going to talk about is the Villa Rosa design. I'm assuming we've got all those in now for this.
Yes. So
okay.
Everybody who has been is part of our Villa Rosa Other Month Club. Can you all hear me? I hope so.
So if you're part of the Villa Rosa, see, I can't say this. Villa Rosa Pattern Club, whatever you want to call it. We have those in. Pat said she was able to get hers picked up today. And let's see what else.
Here.
Yes, she got, and it's 5 of them, right?
It is 5. It is 5.
Okay.
We've decided to knock it down to 5 just to make it more streamlined, make it more simplistic, so it's not confusing. We could say it's a price under $13 a month, and that includes shipping if you are having us ship it to you. So it is 5 patterns.
I'll go that way.
It is you choose to have them either mailed, or you can pick them up either at Story City or Iowa Falls. We'll be talking about it again at this Saturday's book club at Iowa Falls. We're not doing a Marty and
We don't have a Marty and Me. We've got 2 months off. We'll start up again probably in September.
That makes me sad.
Well, I think it's just a smarter thing to do based on crazy summers. So
I agree. But it just makes me sad.
yeah, we're not going to get to see everybody, which will be sad, but you just have to come in on a not that day. But any other Saturday's okay. You can always come in. The longing look she gave me over the... She's very sad. Her wine spilled.
I didn't mean to. I just tossed those aside and the glass was in the way. How rude. All right.
So anyway, back to... So Villa Rosa, if you want it, sign up. It's online. You can do it in the store. I have no idea what she's doing.
I was going to show them the new ones.
Oh, okay. So now you know what you can get. Oh, that one's cool. I like that one.
Rainbow Road.
I like that one.
I like this one. Dainty Machines. This one is using...
I like that one.
Scraps. This is a good fat 1/8 or scrap one. Here.
Ooh. If you love cats, it's a cat head.
I don't.
And they go all the different directions.
I don't like the fabric that they chose.
Well, that's sort of a Villa Rosa technique.
However, would that not be cute as a rag quilt somehow?
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
This one I think you should make for your sister.
And if you want, you can embroider faces on them.
Oh, that would be cute. Like some rickrack for the whiskers and stuff.
Yeah.
This one I think for your sister is called Optic. Like eye optics. I don't understand the quilt. I've got to be honest, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Maybe it's because of this part. It could be a tree. It could be I don't know.
What do you guys think?
I think my black and white does more optic damage than that one does.
I don't understand that one at all.
Oh, by the way, I found out that Iowa Falls has the same black and white, only it's black and yellow. We could do some psychotic little piece of
sugar and spice.
So all kinds of good ones.
I really like this one. Rainbow Road.
Like that one.
That one's a good one. All right. So what else do we have? Oh, sashiko or sashiko, depending on what part of the country you're in.
That is a cool pattern too.
So if you guys are familiar with sashiko, it's a traditional ancient Japanese type of stitching that, if I read, it's been a while since I read the history of it, but basically, if you were a commoner, you wore like navy, blue coloring and very simple clothing, and a way for you to dress that up was to kind of do a white stitch, decorative stitching on there. So that was kind of because the royalty wore all the reds and the beautiful silks and things like that. So this is very kind of traditional commoner or what's another word? Peasant style of stitching, just to dress it up. But anyways, it's so awesome. These come pre-printed. So you get yourself one of these packages. So if you could see, that's the pattern on there.
They would also use it for patching clothing.
Patching clothing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then get yourself some 12-weight white. White is the traditional color. You can do any color you want. And then, of course, get yourself a project bag to keep it all in.
Oh.
And especially one that says "It's so tempting" on it. Or this cute little one that says "Tooling Around." So cute. Anyway, so we have it in various different... This one is dragonflies, which is a very traditional Asian print.
Now these are on the size that these are. I'm trying to see how big they are.
You could turn these into pillows, you guys.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. If you don't want to put them on your clothing, you can easily make it into a pillow or something.
A cute little owl. So it's just a lot of fun. It's supposed to be very relaxing.
This one is one where you can make your own design.
Yes, and we actually have a booklet, which I think we're out now. It's sold through, where you can create your own design, and in that booklet is different designs. And then there's sashiko needles that you can use. We actually have some thimbles that are specific for that. And it's supposed to be very zen, very relaxing. So if you're in the car doing a car ride and you don't have anything to bind, or you don't have anything to read, or maybe you get car sick when you read, this would be another fantastic thing to pass the time as you're driving around. Maybe you're not driving around.
Another thing Pat just said was on that cat head one.
Yeah.
She said she and Darla discussed it, and they said they'd make all the cat heads go the right direction rather than rotating them around because they have them going every which way. You have that flexibility. That's your design.
You can do whatever you want.
Once you get it out here, it's sort of like when I tell people from the pharmacy, I can only give you the medication. I can't make you take it. So you do whatever you need to do.
Please take it as the doctor has prescribed. Not more, not less. But as the doctor has prescribed.
Highly recommended. Highly recommended to follow what the doctor says.
Okay.
But in this particular case, you can be a little more creative.
That's true. What else do we have? Are we ready? Oh, should we ask our question?
Let's ask our question.
Okay, guys. So you guys know that I'm from the Pacific Northwest, and there is something there that is just totally awesome. And I actually saw a bumper sticker that had it, like the silhouette of it. So, but I want to know if you guys know the proper name for Bigfoot. What is the proper name for Bigfoot?
And if you're able to answer that, the first one will get the Dublin, what are they called? Not a charm.
Chips.
Chips.
Dublin chips.
Dublin
like
chips.
Fish and chips. Dublin chips.
I don't think so, but it'd be close.
Dublin chips.
Okay.
All right. So what is the proper name for Bigfoot? Or at least I'm calling it the proper name for Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So, is anybody?
No answers yet.
No answers. Lisa Hunt is watching.
Oh,
Rachel. Sasquatch. I think Rachel's the winner.
Well, although hers is Sasquatch.
It's okay.
There we go.
Look at you guys go. Good on you.
Whoa. You guys are really coming
Look
through
at you.
now.
So I think Rachel's the winner. Monica was a close second. You almost squeaked in there, Monica. Almost. So Sasquatch. Stan's got it over here, but Rachel beat you out over there.
Yeah.
So we'll look at the timestamp to be sure. But I'm going to say Rachel.
As of right now, Rachel, this is yours.
Yep. So I will prep message you to figure out if you want to come in. I don't know where you're living at, so we might be shipping it to you, but we'll get that squared away. So Sasquatch, people. Sasquatch is the proper name for Mr. Bigfoot.
There you go.
And okay, follow-up question. How many of you believe in Sasquatch? Do you believe in Sasquatch?
Not really. No.
As a native Pacific Northwesterner, I absolutely believe in Sasquatch. He's 100% real. Melissa? Yep.
I'm not
absolutely
native.
Real. He's got to be real.
Okay.
He's got to be real. All right. Country register time, people. We are so excited. Steph has made some yummies for us tonight. And, yeah.
I had hopes that... Okay, where did that go?
I don't know. What did you do?
Did I put it away? Oh, for Pete's sake.
Hey, I have an Uncle Pete, too. So that works. I've got 8 uncles, you guys. Guaranteed. One of them has got to have a name like Bob, Pete, Dennis, Dan, Steve, Bill.
The whole roll call.
I'll do the whole. John,
Your
Jim.
poor mom. So, new register, guys.
Yay!
We got the new register. We're pretty excited about that. So, all kinds of new information, which means new recipes. And I was all ready to do, because they have a rhubarb recipe, and I was so excited to do that. But my rhubarb died. So, we went with plan B. And so, instead of doing the very first recipe, we're doing, I don't know.
Can I just say that ad looks amazing right there?
Oh, you like our ad this time?
I like our ad.
We're a pretty good, cool ad.
Right next to that poker run ad.
Exactly. All
right.
very important on page 13.
Page 13.
It wasn't very far? Oh. Okay,
This
well,
is what
it may take me a few minutes. I made snickerdoodles.
She made snickerdoodles. And who doesn't love a good snickerdoodle? If you don't like a good snickerdoodle, you are not American. I'm kidding.
This time we did not have any misprints or anything like that, like we had a few of the other ones. So that one, let's see. That one's going to be a good one.
Okay, I was in Hy-Vee the
There
other
they
day.
are.
I was in Hy-Vee the other day, and I was walking down the aisle, and it was like the juice aisle. I was in the juice aisle, and I smelled chocolate. Isn't that weird? Like, I can smell chocolate, like...
I made German pancakes today. I don't know if any of you have had German pancakes, but they involve a lot of eggs. And I swear, I walked into the kitchen, and I smelled chicken. Which I'm not sure what would have happened at that point. But anyway, so snickerdoodles, that's what we made. And they are really quite good. It involves both butter and shortening. And Lissa was making comments about, why would you need both? And I said, well, it just works. That's what it calls for. She said, just use one or the other. And I said, but we have to make this the way it's called.
I was going to say, that reminds me of Jean's family cookbooks. Our mother-in-law's family cookbooks are always like shortening, butter, like all of that.
It has both of them.
Yeah.
So anyway, it does involve cream of tartar. But other than that, it's a really quick and easy recipe. And we just used a scoop to make them round and then rolled them around in some cinnamon and sugar and threw them out. It was all good.
Of these are mine. Thank you very much. Okay. There you go.
So I get one, you get one. Did you want one, Liz?
All right, guys.
Okay.
And as always, we test these recipes for you to make sure that they are good enough for you to try.
And all the directions are there correctly.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
It's a good sugar cookie.
It's a good sugar cookie. It's not overly sugary. So it's not...
It's kind of soft, which is nice.
Reminds me of a cereal.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Could be. It's really good, though. Mm-hmm. It's really good. And I think we cooked these... We did a little bit longer. We did a medium-sized of the Pampered Chef. the scoops, the melon baller or whatever they're called. We did the medium size. So I think we did end up cooking these instead of 8 to 10. I think we ended up cooking 13 or 14.
It was like 11 or 12.
It was a little bit longer, but
those are really good.
Everybody's ovens are different. So, but yeah, really worth making these.
Idea: take a scoop of ice cream, put it between two of those suckers. That would be yummy. Make an ice cream sandwich out of those. All right, we are at 7:15 on the dot.
Excellent.
Oh, I didn't want to do that. Sorry, guys. That's annoying. So sorry.
Do I have to hold your hands again?
Right? All right, you guys. I think that's it for tonight. I don't see anything else in this mess that we absolutely have to talk about tonight. We can save a few things for next time.
You did want to mention your glasses. Did you talk about those?
We can do those next time.
Okay.
Unless somebody buys them.
Then you just missed out on our super secret.
That's right. And congratulations on getting this Dublin chips. Was it Rachel?
That was for Rachel.
That's right. Sasquatch was the word. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with the best quilt shop owners here in Story City and Iowa Falls.
We will see you next week. Same so time, same so place.
Bye, guys.
Bye.